The world's most popular fishing PFD got some updates. Let's take a look at the new Chinook versus the old NRS Chinook. What's changed? Is it worth upgrading? So the first upgrade that's super simple to see is, well, there's new colors available. Nice forest green on this one with some black trimming up on the chest and some nice orange highlights throughout. Kind of dig this color, but I gotta say I still love my own. But I would totally choose this one, I think, if I had the choice. So the next kind of difference that I see is on the pockets here. This first front pocket, it's one big pocket on this on the outer pocket on the front right here, which is different. You know, on this one, I got two smaller outer pockets, and I think this is the one upgrade that I would really appreciate having on this PFD. This is big enough to hold like even a pack of worms or a pack of plastics or two. So that's kind of nice, you know, especially if you're doing a whole bunch of Texas rigs all day and you're switching out baits, you're, you know, catching lots of fish, as we all hope to, and you're tearing up a bunch of plastics. Well, you're going to want to keep changing. So it'd be sweet to have them on hand instead of having to go into your tackle box every single time. I really dig that. One big pocket versus the two small pockets. Cool. Moving on, I mean, a lot of the other features are the same. We still have this rod holder kind of thing up here with the tab down there. It's a little awkward to use. I honestly never really use this as a fishing rod stager. I tried to use it to see if it's useful, and if I really didn't want to sit down all the time, it might be useful. You can put your rod in here and you can kind of like work on baits as your rod's sitting here, and you have your rod tip fairly close to you rather than setting the rod on the deck of the kayak and then you hit your rod tip super far away from you. You have all this lying out as you're trying to tie on something. It's a small thing. Honestly, I would not miss it if that feature was not on this PFD. Something I could do without. So it's still got that feature. It has a bit of an upgrade here though for the pliers. Now, this was my biggest complaint with this PFD, which is why I actually went for these pliers. These are by a company called Muskie. They're basically, I just use them for split ring pliers mostly, or for bass and other small fish for unhooking the bait fish of muskies. Yeah, so I mean, I got these small pliers because my arm would always hit the pliers if they were in this hole. Because as you can see, the kind of triangle shape here that allows the pliers to sit in there is quite large. So if you push the pliers in there, I mean, they can go pretty far down. And with other pliers, I mean, you have the tip of the pliers sticking out right here. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel good to catch it on your arm. This one seems quite a bit smaller. Actually, on second look, this is the same size as last year's. So the plier holder hasn't changed, unfortunately, just the strap that holds them in there. It's more heavy duty, which I like. You know, we still have these tabs up here for attaching anything that you might want to attach there, like line snips or something. I don't use that. Personally, I like to keep the front of my PFD relatively clean, just so I don't get things snagging off it or swinging around as I'm carrying my PFD. But those are still there. What else does it have? So it still has the nice handy tab for when you're trying to put your PFD on. So right here, it still has this tab, which is nice for zipping up the PFD and getting a hold of it. You got a lash point up here or a knife point. So you could put a knife here or you could put a strobe light there. Not much has changed on the front apart from this Velcro strap and the big pocket. Some of the bigger changes actually happen inside of the pockets here. So let's take a look. So it still has the hinged pockets here that kind of support as like a little working table, which is awesome. Love this feature. But then, as you can see, there's a little bit less inside the pockets this year. So inside mine, you can just get some of the stuff out here that is in the way. In my pockets here, you can see there's, you know, it still has the two separated individual pockets, but up here on the older one, it has this lashing as well, which is nice for securing some stuff. You know, I like to keep my cell phone in this pocket and then have like a tether tied to my cell phone, just so I don't drop it in the drink. And I also keep my whistle on this tether too. So I do like the tethers. I think I would miss those, to be honest. I also clip a waterproof pack on here sometimes with the GoPro batteries in there. So that way I'm not gonna drop that in the drink either. So I think I would miss that lashing. And then the other change is in the other pocket. So opening this one, again, it's the same as this other pocket here. So no extra lashing, just the two elastic kind of pockets there, which is great. You know, I really like having those 2 pockets in there to help kind of sort my stuff. I hate opening up a pocket and finding like 5 different items in there. I'm digging to the bottom to see if I even remembered to bring that one thing that is buried at the bottom. It's always buried at the bottom, isn't it? So when I open up mine here, on the previous year's model, there's actually an extra pocket here. Let's get these boater's gloves out of the way. And, you know, in this pocket, it's a zippered mesh kind of pocket. And I usually keep, you know, my phone in here if I don't plan on pulling out my phone. I will keep my fishing license and other stuff in here and my keys in here. So that way I know when I open up this pocket, it's zippered closed. They're not going to fall out. I can still use this as a little table. And again, the lashing. You know, I have my ferrocerium rod stuck in here, so I can always start a fire if I need to. Another carabiner, because I like to clip things in here. I like to know that when I open this pocket, stuff's not going to fall out. So I do think I would miss that about the new Chinooks, is they don't seem to have that little feature. You know, but if you've never had it, you might not miss it. You might not even notice that that feature's not there. Apart from that though, very similar. The back, again, mesh back, high top. NRS did a huge update with all of their PFDs this year, except the Chinook. Maybe not all of them, but most of their PFDs except the Chinook. And they now have this new contoured body fit. They didn't do that for the Chinook this year. Apparently 2025, there's gonna be bigger upgrades coming to the Chinook. But for this year, it's the same. And I think that's okay. Honestly, the new contour system would be nice on the PFD, but at the same time, I'm not missing it. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it when they do the upgrade to make it the contour body fit that they are now trying to do. So in the end, if you have a Chinook already, is it worth upgrading? I'd say no. I would almost want to look for the older model personally, but the newer model is definitely still worth the title of being one of the most popular fishing PFDs. I can still see why this will still claim the title compared to some of the other fishing PFDs by other reputable companies. It's just well designed. It's got just the right amount of features on it. Yeah, I highly recommend the Chinook if you want this high back. If you don't want this high back, I'm doing another video where I'm going to talk about the alternate version of the Chinook that has more of a flat back, full back kind of style. Anyways, hope you found that helpful. Hopefully that helped you make your decision. And yeah, hopefully you can get out fishing sometime soon. Tight lines, we'll catch you later.